Hey there, everyone. This is Raquel. No, man, it's Patapon time. The order of questions might be a little bit weird because I had doubts that I had missed questions in some way after I tallied them up yesterday, and so I went on my actual Patreon page, and indeed I had missed some, and I just kind of put them at the end of the question. So everything's going to be in a weird order, but I think every question should be accounted for. Maybe. I hope. I hope. And, hi. How's it going? Let's go. Let us venture forth in the direction of progress. Yeah, Fusion Warrior is going to start the ball. By which I mean, I'm going to read this question first. So does it count as starting the ball? Probably. Which arc in the entirety of Dragon Ball is your favorite? I'm so glad you like the DBZA too. It's so fun. Also, have you seen Dave Yard Shift on YouTube? He does mariachi cover of video game songs of the entirety of Dragon Ball. Like, so that's including like Dragon Ball without a Z. I have to say, I always think that the first arc, which is a parody of the Journey West, is really, really good, and it kind of shows like Toriyama's original intent. Otherwise, the second World Tournament is probably one of my favorite overall moments because it's mostly, well devised fighting, but it was back when, Dragon Ball was still a comedy. So it's silly fighting, but like it's a little. By that time, Toriyama was good enough to convey things in interesting ways, I believe, and stuff. So, and like, it's an overall, I think, the best balance of a lot of everything that I like about the series. And my favorite arc, otherwise, of Dragon Ball Z, if we're talking about just the Z, is the Buu Saga, because I think that you can totally tell that Toriyama is getting tired, so he's just kind of like doing whatever, and to me it just hits so well. They're just pure whateverism, and it's like it just turns into this great self-parody farce. Like anyone who takes Super Saiyan 3 seriously and not as, as a lark on a what his whole lore thing had become is a very silly person, and I'm aware that many a teenager, took it for granted and not as sort of a self-parody. So you know what? Yeah, sure, okay. I think that's why it works. It becomes a satire of itself. Tori is totally aware of it, and I think that's great. Maybe I'm projecting. Maybe it's not true, but I certainly wish it is. I certainly do. Dr. Verbal was no question for me today, but here's a music request. So we've got music requests. Gotta load up the YouTubes and put on some music that you may or may not hear any of. Oh man, it's great. Let's go. What do we got? Information from Cavalleria Rusticana, Pietro Masgani. Alright. Also, I guess Noah, before also Fusion War, no, I did not ever hear of Dave Yard Shift on YouTube that does Mario covers of video game songs, but I will certainly go and take a look at Dave Yard Shift on YouTube, which does mariachi covers of video game songs. Man, this is some relaxing, peaceful music to have while I'm saying complete nonsense and accidentally bang my microphone. Cole Walker's back! Hi again! This one has been too shy to ask any questions for a while, but with a new month comes new questions, I guess. 1. The Wings of V LP has me wondering about another opinion of yours about video games, though the answer to this is probably obvious. What do you think of punishment by death and being forced to redo a segment of a level, versus area design that isn't dangerous to the player, but requires cleverness to proceed? Basically, hard jump versus puzzle solving. I'm not saying one or the other is better, just wondering what kind of balance is desirable in your opinion. Personally, I've always liked, straightforwardness in my video games. And I would rather, like, if I had to make a choice between the other, I'd rather deal with difficult platforming versus, you know, a weird, complex puzzle. Mind you, a very good puzzle's gonna be fun to play no matter what, and I'll gladly play it. Well, let's say we're dialing down the quality a little bit. In that case, I'd rather have straightforward but difficult platforming segment for sure. 2. Mentioned you enjoyed space and physics and things in the last video. Me too. So my question: did you follow New Horizons encounter with Pluto earlier this year at all? Was it great or what? And finally, a music. Yeah, I did follow the aftermath of the New Horizon thing with Pluto earlier this year, and it was super great. Things got confirmed, and things got real weird. I encourage anyone to check it out on the internet. The information's all there. Google is a service that has existed for many years. And you got a music request, but I guess we're gonna wait after the good doctor's little classical music song going on here. Pizza Ponies, all whoops, I fell asleep. Was hoping I could get this in first. Music that's gonna have to wait. Question 1. I was debating if/when I should ask this, so I figured I'd ask it now. Not to bring down anyone's happy mood, as this is only a precaution, as I don't expect this of you. Just to make sure, do you/have you had thoughts of suicide? I asked this due to another entertainer's suicide 2 years ago. That's getting uncomfortably dark. Wow. And it's kind of... There's a lot of people over time that reached out to me because, you know, I helped them out of a... What am I doing here? Out of a hard spot. And, you know, sometimes it just takes a little thing, and my little thing was enough to help him out. And, you know, I'm glad. I've always... Noise Mothership. This is a slightly different flavor of music. But, yeah, so I won't go into detail, but when I was a lot younger, it might have been something on my potential horizon at some point. Since then, I've worked out my depression by quite a bit, and right now, I would literally qualify me as happy. But, I mean, that's, yeah, I guess. Like, I'm not sure what you expect me to say here. But, I mean, like, we all reach hard spots, but, I mean, it's never impossible to overcome. And it's the little things that make a difference. So, you know, make a little bit of a difference today out there to anyone. Even if you don't think they would necessarily need it. Anything can help out there in the universe. Anyways, let's just move on there to 2. Now the special question, as this will be a few minutes. Take the Myers-Briggs personality test. You don't have to elaborate on each question, as that would take quite a while. You know what? I think that would be fun. Let's do that. He even give us a internet web space to go, a .asp website. It's like, what? Who has ever thought of that? So those who don't know, the Myers-Briggs test is based on, you know, the young thing. Wow, I can speak good. It's super great. So I'm probably gonna need to let the internet work here. Hopefully this is gonna be enough and I won't have any problems. Anyways, yeah, so basically, yeah, it's a test. It's several questions that you answer, and it kind of puts you down into 16 different sort of like personality block. And it's, you know, if it's like accurate or not, it's easily to be said. I can be in any one of those. My problem with the test is that it is 100% relies on answering yourself. So it kind of supposes that you're gonna answer truthfully. My problem with test, where you give yourself the answer, is that I get the feeling people often answer what they think they are or what they want to be rather than what they really are. And that's always, I find, something hard to avoid. Let's give it a shot, just for fun. I am very much almost never late for my appointments. No, but not super no, just no. In white circles, middle. You feel involved? Hell no. Usually the first react with sudden event of ringing. Let's put it there. Feel it was on compassion. I'm a little too... Yeah, I'm gonna go here, but I don't really know. I hesitate between all three of these. You think everything in the world is relative? Relative to what? I don't understand the question. Strict service established was likely to prevent attaining a good... Wait, what? It's likely to prevent? Wait. No, rules are there. What are you talking about? It is difficult to get you excited. No. When you make decision line more than kinda. You often think about it, but like, it's not true. Like, it depends on what. This is too vague. This is way too vague to be of any use to absolutely anything in the universe. Not really. You believe the reason why she can be... What? That doesn't make any sense. Rude and cause phenomena in things? Yes. Prefer to act immediately. It depends. There's too many factors. This is a bad question. Yeah, but I mean, again, there's too many factors. I'm inclined to rely more on prior planning. This is true, though. See, there's a difference. If you were gonna ask if I think it's better between one or another, whether I do, it's very different. I would be more inclined to improvise, unfortunately. I know, but I consider that a fault of mine, but it's what I do. Spend leisure time actively socializing? Hell no! Usually plan your actions in advance to a certain point. Your actions are frequently influenced by your emotions to a certain point. Ever since somewhat reserved? Very yes. Hell no. Yeah, at night. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, I am introverted 300%. No, not really. I like when I've got to do a job, I try to do it well. Using stage jump to assign specific arms easily is kind of a trick question. Let's go with this. If you're gonna lean... let's go with this. Find it difficult to speak loudly? No. Theoretical? Nope. Can sympathize? Yes. Justice rather than mercy? Yeah. I mean, you know, what do words mean, right? Just give me a second here. I gotta feed the next song to the song god. Well, this one's the song that Pizza Pony wanted to listen as background. Persona 4, Velvet Room. It's a yellow person. You ever get involved in social life? No. So the better you feel. It depends. Song go in the middle. You tend to rely on experience. Is the only one you have a clear and detailed plan? No. Easily empathize with concerns of other people. Kinda. You prefer to read a book. 100%. Involved in being... You'll also notice that there are some questions that are very similar, and that is made on purpose. In French, the expression of doing this is translated as drowning the fish, which is basically, it's a self-controlling, self-regulating system to make sure that the person taking the test is being consistent. Maybe I'm falling in the trap or not, I am not aware, because usually, like, I'm not remembering a lot of what I'm answering here. When a group of people being in the... Not really. You are more inclined to experiment, follow familiar approaches, not... You know what, let's just go ahead and move that to that. You're strongly attached by the stories. Yes, I am. Deadline seems to be relative. No, deadlines are super important. Let's change that to that. You prefer to isolate yourself from outside noise. Outside noises, I don't care. I'm just going to put this. Try things with your hand? Not really, but not super no. You think almost everything can be analyzed? Hell yeah. For you, surprise is better than what? No surprises is better. No surprise. Okay. Basically, you don't like to be surprised. Yeah. Take pleasure in putting things in order. Not really. Feel at ease in a crowd. Let's go with no. I have crowd anxiety. Have good control over your desires and temptations. It's good in the middle. Usually understand new theory easily. I'm gonna put yes, but I mean, I'm like in the middle of yes, uncertain. Usually place yourself near to the side, then in the center of the room. I'd rather be in the center of the room, actually. I know it's in the middle, but, you know, protection, herd mentality. And also, according to my Chinese sign, I want to be the most in the middle of a room or a building as possible. Weird thing to believe in, considering normally I'm not into those, but there we go. When solving a problem, you would rather follow a familiar approach. See, drowning the fish. Look how similar the question is to a past one. And yeah, I would rather follow something familiar. A thirst for adventure is something close to your heart. Nope. And when you consider a situation, you pay more attention to the current situation. What? I don't know what that means. Okay, when considering a situation, to the current situation. In other words... Okay, I'm gonna go with no, because basically it's asking if you're looking... Like, how many steps forward are you thinking, basically? Yeah, find out a little feeling, not really. Decision based more feeling. No. You're spending leisure time alone. Yeah. Feel more sticking to conventional way. Yeah. Strong emotions. Yeah, I'm gonna go there. You're always looking for opportunities. Not always looking. Like, always, I'm gonna stick to always for some reason. More than future plans? No. Is this for you to communicate in social... I'm gonna go with yes. I'm a good communicator if you get me out of my shell. Deviate from your habits? Yes. You willingly involve yourself in matters, engage your sympathies? Not really. Usually perceive various ways in which events will develop? Yeah, I'm gonna go with yes. My age... I am 34, gender, I am male, score it, I am an infidel! Yeah, look at me, I judge people. I have moderate preference of introversion, a slight preference of intuition, a slight preference of feeling, and I have moderate preference of judging over... I'm a judge. How do you want to leverage the type? What does that mean? And distinct by both their complexity of character, unusual rant and Dave's. Basically, no, they're just going like, "Oh man, you sure are a pretty cool guy. Now give us money." So I don't know what's going on here. Like at this point, it's going on way too far. Let's look at my career choices though. So according to the internet, I should work in social work. See, librarian, maybe. Education, hell no. Hell no. Arts and humanities, though, is... Like, I have graphic design degree, I have art baccalaureate, so... At that point, it's true, it's accurate, I don't know, man. Like, was any of my answers actually relevant? Did I answer questions in a way that I thought I was but I wasn't? Or that I want to be without being? I don't know. And that bothers me. And to me, it invalidates. Like, for me, a personality test would require to have, like, maybe, like, 75% of things you answer. But then you'd have like a 20% that's like a person that knows you well that answer, and 5% that's an acquaintance of yours at school or at work or something that would answer stuff. And then you'd put back everything together and you'd have an actually good idea of what's going on. But as it is, I just... What is love? Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Gregory Coca-Cola is all 97 is a fine number, you clown-like man. It is the largest two-digit prime. That's true! I had not realized that when I judged 97, and I had no opinion. Truly, this is the mark of my failure and the downfall of my status as a human. Now this time let's go to Wikipedia and click the link for a random article, and we'll see what I think about the result. Alright, wikipedia.org. Alright. Okay, I'm going to go into English for the sake of here. And I'm going to click on random article. So I'm going to show random article. 5 Fingers. It's a 2012 TV series. That's from the Seoul Broadcasting System. I don't know a whole lot about Korean TV, oddly enough. And also, oh man, it's plagiarized from Blood Rhapsody. Well, I mean, I don't know. Plagiarism is bad. Please do not plagiarize. Oh, Vietnam. Idiot. Vietnam, not Korean. Well, I thought it was Korean. I'm an idiot. But those are Korean letters. They're not, like, Vietnam uses English letters. No, it's Korean. Look at that, see? 2012 on Korean TV. But yeah, I don't know anything about this TV show. It's a romance show that aired on TV. It features idiots in suits and dresses. So, I mean, if you're into that, I'm sure you can find that poster somewhere. BK Kamikaze is what sort of pasta is the best pasta? The best pasta is the tunnely kind. I've answered that a zillion years ago in another one of these videos, except I don't know which one, and they're all super long, so good luck sorting that out. Will Hart has a YouTube link for us without any sentences to go with it. It's pretty cool. Quantic Transatlantic. Alright. How long is this? 4 minutes, huh? And a half? This is some halty type of music. Telemon wants me to say the word dandelion. How you pronounce it is up to you. Alright. Dundee Lion. There we go. Meatball Rider. Dear Al, cow questions. Questions 1 if by mysterious artifice you had to fight your own skeleton and you weren't... Okay. And you weren't affected in any way by a lack of bones. How would you defeat it? Hiding in the closet in hopes he goes away. 2. So cows have 4 stomachs, which they use for nefarious purposes. Suppose, like your namesake, you had 4 stomachs. What would you use them for? Well, I would use them to digest different foods. One of them to digest milk and dairy, one for starch and bread, one for fruits and vegetable, and one for meat and sugar. That's how things are spread upon, right? Anything else just gets dumped right out. Right out of the intestine. Just splut. That's how it goes. I know how eating works. 3. Why do so many necromancers use humanoids for their powerful wizardry? I would want to fight like a skeleton bear, but I think I could take a man's skeleton. I agree! And also, not just skeletons, but like zombie movies. Like, you know, when the outbreaks goes in the zoo, it'd be like zombie elephants going around downtown eating all the brains. I think that would be super cool. I think the reason why that's not done is for the exact purpose that it would be overpowered. Which is kind of silly, but I think is the fact. It would be interesting. Maybe it's easier for a necromancer to get dead people than dead animals. Like that, even that doesn't really make any sense. I do not have an answer for why this would be the case, man. And I agree with you. I agree with you here on your opinion. Like 75% plus 25%. They're separated though for tax purposes. What is the most powerful skeleton you think you could defeat? Oh, see, there's a difference between most powerful I could defeat. I doubt I would be able to defeat more than a skeleton like large dog, maybe. and even then it's kind of stretching it. A 5. A powerful wizard plays a cruel trick on you and curses all video games you play, regardless of genre, to have wind mechanics. Man, that sucks. What are you gonna do? Complain for the rest of my Let's Play career, till the end of forever. You would think that eventually, though, I would get used to it. It's just like, yeah, wind is just one of those things that happen. You know, or maybe I could, like, I would use the necromantic powers of my 4th stomach to rise a skeleton whale to attack said powerful wizards and make him undo the curse. Now that would be smart handling of situations. 6. How many pillows do you need for optimal sleep? 2. 7. How was your day today? Particularly fine and good. Thank you very much for asking me, Ball Rider. How about you? Nikoishi's all, entered some. Whatever happened to calling us saucepans? By the way, I don't know. To me, in my head, in my brain space, just never really caught on. Like, it was like, it works better to me as a sort of a one-shotty jokey, just a thing you say once, and it's like, people errands containers to hold sauce, even though technically we kinda are. That's funny. Like, I just don't think it has leverage as a permanent thing. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, please write a note that says, a zebra is hiding in my sheet. Send help to the news, and if that news segment ever gets reprinted in one of those news blooper thing videos and I see it, in that case, I'll take it into consideration. Fariel's all, hey Malcow, will you play Maggle X The Lost Levels when it's done? Probably. One thing to consider though, when Maggle X2 is done, everyone's gonna be tired of Super Mario Bros. X, so I might play a ROM hack or two of the Mario kind in the between. Also, speaking of bouncy squishy things, remember how you were pretty freaked out when you first saw the Talkhouse Ninja replacements years ago? Could you describe, maybe give an artist's rendition of what you saw in them that made them so, and I quote, creepy as hell. P.S. Bounce, bounce! It's the red tendril things, really, that I just thought, like, they looked like... I now understand that they're just feelers, but they just look like these weird... It's the red... The red tentacly things. Like, they're just... They look weird, squishy, red tentacly things, and, like, no one wants to find that in their suit, right? It's a little bit of an exaggeration, I think, because now that I see them correctly and understand them, I think they look super cute. So I don't think I would be able to give justice to how I was understanding them back in the day. But, I mean, I still hold to my opinion of them. Like, I just said the opposite, that now I find them cute. But still, I thought, it's the red things. I thought they looked kind of gross. But now that I understand what's going on, they are quite the opposite indeed. Whoopar! Hey, so I like the Kirby snail idea and decided to make some dumb doodles / concept art of it. I even tried to incorporate the whole defensively oriented concept into his ability combinations. You might find it kind of amusing. Let's go check it out. So I don't know if y'all remember, but last week I was tasked with basically figuring out a new companion, Kirby 3 style, for Kirby. And, Eugenia World, you're Whoopar. Yeah, this is adorable. He's the person that does a lot of the, Cortex arts. Oh man, he looks so angry though. Look at that, and like that's supposed transformation attacks, like for color, a big old shield and a big old axe. The spike one looks kind of funkatronic. I can't scroll this. Okay, no, scroll appropriately to see the rest. Oh no, there's a water gun. There's a Screech. Not sure what's going on with the parasol. He's like race car, and then Man, though, the snail really looks super bulky. Like, you can tell that, like, the way I imagine it is that, like, he takes, like, 3 times your size. Like, so it would be easy to get hit, but, like, maybe would have a defense bonus, so you only get hit, like, once, like for, like, third damage or something, and it's sort of like a weird compensatory way. It looks adorable. Ducking animation looks kind of funky, though. Like, it slides off on the back, and then the snail's like, "Whoa!" And he gets all mad. Please do not slide on the snail. It gets them agitated. Well, thank you, like, so very much for taking the time to do that. It looks great. Feeling pot is all. I got a bunch of short, unrelated questions this week. 1. If you could go back in time, witness any famous event in human history, what would it be? Oh, it's human history. I was about to say I would be way into seeing the extinction event that led to the end of the era of the dinosaur. Like, assuming that this time traveling thing, like, assures me 100% like safety, like it gives me like I'm inside this sort of like bubble of intangibility where I do not affect and am not affected by anything. So if it has to be human history, could I go forward in time and witness, the extinction event for humanity? No, I can't, because it clearly says if you could go back. That case, I want to see aliens visiting ancient Egypt, because it's super weird how their language just kind of like popped up out of nowhere, and we have literally zero trace of where the heck it came from. So I could figure out if it is aliens or not, and if not, like, what the heck happened with, the work in progress that led to ancient Egyptian writing and stuff. I'm assuming that this time voyage trip, at the very least, gives me the opportunity to, like, automatically translate languages and whatnot so that I can actually figure out what the heck is going on. Otherwise, I might have wasted a trip. 2. What's your favorite story arc in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z? I already answered that earlier. Wow. How did 2 people get the same question like that? 3. How do you type with boxing gloves on? With a lot of difficulty. 4. How did Nagel get started? I don't know. Well, I mean, all it was, the first Make a Good Level contest, is that I think it was... Oh, who was it? I think it was Lime Pie. It was either Lime Pie or Argumentable. They were like... it was like, I just played the vanilla contest, and there was the chocolate contest, and I think that it was returning to a vanilla contest, and, the feeling was like, well, what's with all these, like, weird, categories and whatnot? Let's just make it flat. No, just make a good level. Like, all this nonsense that doesn't make any sense. Like, just making it too complicated. Just make a good level and leave it to that, and it just kind of like grew from there. And it was pretty much the same idea with the second one, except we also added the box gimmick for the sake of having a gimmick. I guess, I don't know. As for Maggle X, well, there you should ask Korikawa. I don't know why she decided to do that and utterly ruin her entire life forever. As starting such a project, leaves you permanently changed, and you just can't go back, man. You can't go back. There's no coming back. There's all any interesting stories from playing D&D or any other such role-playing games besides Let's Cortex. Never played any role-playing games, but listening to Cortex and the Retsu Talk RP sessions has really piqued my interest in trying them out one of these days. Sadly, my experience with role-playing game before Cortex was this kind of bad D&D thing that, was basically replacing someone. I myself didn't really know the people involved all that much, except one person, and it was all very much, let's call it, like, I went to, 2 sessions ever, and it was very much, it's a group that was very, mechanic-oriented. Like there wasn't a whole lot of role play involved. It was other than it was like role playing as much as you role play a first person RPG, in the sense that yeah, you're playing a character, but you're playing a character mechanically. And I have like no anecdotes, stories at all from that. It was like I won't go as far as to say that I regret participating or anything. It was fun, but it wasn't memorable, I guess is the best way to say. One of my There's one thing though that I always found. Okay, so my character was a halfling rogue, and my companions were critters, like, well, not critters, but were like, species that were much bigger than me, right? I was a rogue, except anytime we were dealing with like, oh no, we can't open this door, we don't have a key, and I busted my key things, my unlocking things, and they won't work. I'm like the only person that would try, hey, I'm gonna tackle the door to open it up. It wouldn't work because, I'm playing a halfling. I'm a tiny little creature, and physically I'm useless. And yet none of the other guys would, try tackling a door open. I was the only one. It's like as soon as I tried and failed, it was like, okay, that option's out now. Gotta move on to another door, I guess. I always thought that was the stupidest thing ever. And I think people were just thinking too straightforwardly, and that's why I like Let's Cortex, because maybe one day we'll have a new episode, I don't know. Because the whole group kind of think non-linearly, and the campaign we're in is extremely non-linear, and so like it makes things way more interesting. All my best stories are way within the realm of Let's Cortex, which you can see on YouTube. Nickel Fire is all question: how would you define a strong female character? Okay, a strong female character is a character that has the sex and gender of female. Well, I don't know if "and" is right there. I don't know. That is female. And who is given the depths and complexity that you would typically find in a male role. By which I mean, like, in a lot of writing, like, you're allowed to have subgenre of males. You got the funny dude, you got the aggressive dude, you got the laid-back dude, then you got the girl. Strong writing, like a strong female character, is a female character by which you can easily describe in a recognizable way, without actually having to mention her gender. Mind you, a strong female character also cannot just be literally written as a guy, but is a girl. Because our gender does inform who we are in some way, but not as much. But it cannot be the single defining. Like, it can't be the defining thing. Like, if you're in a group and the only way you can really define the girl is, oh, she's the girl, then no, you messed up. It's not a strong character in the slightest. It is an accessory character, which, I mean, yeah, those can and should exist, but it's not a strong female character nonetheless. And really, there's nothing really more to it than that, in my opinion. I mean, there are also poorly written, in many of them, male characters. It's just that it's just so, like, in a history of a lot of fiction, female roles are very often tertiary or with a very explicitly female function. It's the hero's mother, it's the hero's sister, it's the hero's girlfriend, it's the reward at the end of the quest. And that's been a historically strong thing that's really hard to loosen. But if you can describe a female character in any way that is not simply as the girl or an otherwise typically female role, then you're on your way there. This is a lot like there's a lot more complexity to it, but I do not have the literary vocabulary thing to express myself in a way that would be worthwhile. But it's like, if I was gonna start, that's where I would start, probably. Will Hart, how is the Super Mario Maker? Can you list some pros and cons? Super Mario Maker is amazing and one of my favorite purchases of anything in a while. In years, maybe. That thing is amazing because, it has some limits. There are a lot of things you can do in Lunar Magic and or Super Mario X that you can't do in Mario Maker. Yes. The way that you unlock elements is super stupid. Yes. But what you can do with it is amazing. Like, there are things you can do that you cannot do in anyone. Like, the way that you can be really clever in how you combine things. Like, you have a fish, you drag a fireball on it, and then, whoops, okay, now you got a flaming Cheep you can use in your level. And it's like, it's a whole bunch of weird interaction like that you can start to build some very complex things. The main problems I have with the game is, again, the way that the elements are doled out, are locked off with the sort of like time-lapse mechanism. I understand why you do it, but they could have done it better. And two, another big con. Okay, so one of my favorite thing in that game is the Mario 100 challenge, where you play 16 levels that are basically pulled at random from people, players have uploaded their level out there. I like it. The problem is that you get 0 difficulty curve. I play a mix of normal and expert, and honestly, there are levels in normals that have tripped me over longer than levels in expert. And there are levels in expert I've one-shotted. There is no consistency at all. I hope that what will happen is that the game is super young. Is as it grows in age, as there's more level made, things are gonna balance out, and it's gonna taper off into an order that makes sense. But that's something that's left to be seen, unfortunately. If I was going to summarize, though, yeah, that'd be it. It's super fun. Like, it's fun just to build a thing, compared to, like, I like working in Super Mario X and Lunar Magic, but it feels like work. While in that game, in Mario Maker, it feels like a game, which is amazing. I'm looking forward to potential DLC, too. Like, there's some weird, conspicuous things missing. I get the feeling that DLC would... Like, I would be upset in the past, but, after the very generous, DLC output of Mario Kart, Splatoon, and Smash, you get the feeling that Mario Maker, is gonna get some good DLC, but, I mean, that's going forward. We'll see how it goes. But for now, it's like Game of the Year, easily 100%. Yep. Other than that, is all. What is your favorite type of melee weapon to use in video games? In terms of design, if you're just asking me my favorite type of melee weapon, period, I love maces and warhammers. Like, just to crush things with a big, heavy thing is super neat in terms of flavor. The problem is, in video games, I tend to want to play quickly. As you've probably noticed, I like quick weapons, and I'd rather kill by 1,000 paper cuts than one big massive blows. So in video games, I tend to end up, with quick weapons. Except I also like some range, like daggers and stuff tends to be too short. So the compromise of all that tends to be staffs. Not so much because I love staffs, but that's kind of like the total of the strengths and weaknesses I like to deal with. Rita Turnip is all, do you get annoyed that your YouTube-only viewer base and even some talkhousers seem to judge levels in any given contest? Or even context, really. Mostly around how well your playthrough went. Even when you say at the end of the video that level was good, you just had a personal hiccup with something, people jump straight to blaming the quote-unquote bad level design or the author instead. Yes, I do get annoyed. It's like, there's a certain form of, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like, in a sense, it's very complimentary. You know how, man, like everyone is willing to make entire opinions based on my experience. No, it's flattering, but I wish people would, think about things a little bit more. There's a reason why I tend to go, hey, this level was actually good. I just personally had a hiccup here and there. I wish people would pay more attention when I say that, but I mean, I guess it's the sort of thing that I did not really have a lot of control over. But yeah, I am annoyed, but I mean, it's not gonna stop, so I'm just gonna have to keep telling people, no, please, just, no, listen to my words, but do not listen to my words in a sense. But I mean, I'm aware I play a lot of things that people won't play for themselves, and so I mean, my experience becomes their experience, and they don't have maybe the will to tolerate things as much as I want. I can't speak for them, and unfortunately, my actions are gonna speak for them in that case. I missed that up. I missed up my phrase. I'm sorry. I was too busy eating your ASCII cookie. Bariel's back with Raukal. Raukal, please look at the bunny. And then he gave me a URL that I'm YouTube. And I'm gonna look at the bunny. Oh, it's Japanesey. Whoa, look at the bunny! Oh man, that thing is adorable. Oh man, look at that thing. How did the rabbit find a little bandini to tie around its neck? I don't know. Oh no, okay, calm down. Rabbits are frightened animal, but I mean, it's part of their jumping rabbit. It's part of their survival. So I understand. Oh, that was adorable. I don't know what prompted you to just go ahead and put that right out there where I can see it, but thank you, I guess. Adorable rabbit. Miko Fire, as always, your opinion on peanut butter. Peanut butter is great. Crunchier, better. I love peanut butter. It helps I don't eat it super often, so when I do eat it, it's super good. But yeah, no, peanut butter is the best. Peanut butter, if you say it backwards, it says butter peanut. Think about it. Horikawa Tane, I'm going to be serious for a second and request a parentheses, very short parentheses, song from an anime of all thing. It's been years since I've seen any anime, but back when I did watch it, this one had a special place in my heart. Also, in light novels, the serials based on are excellent. It's a shame that fan translations are kinda poor. Equal backslash. Since when do you use equal to do an emoticon? That's weird. Alright, Kino no Tabi. He is speed, and I am balance. What? Is it about a person and their motorcycle? This has a good sound. It's very, downcast. Well, while this is going on, I gotta answer more things by Miko Fire. Questions. Name 5 actual books in your bookshelf. Everyone knows comic books are not real books. There's people who decide on culture said so. Oh my god, just 5 books of the Song of Ice and Fire series. That counts. They're separate books. 2. Why are some haters more dedicated to something than many fans? I don't know. Well, you know what they say. Love and hate are pieces, are like the two sides of a single coin. When you love something, you tend to get obsessed with something, and hate just like triggers the same synapses in your brain. It's just that with a positive and negative sort of like spark being reversed. But it's the same thing. Like, the more you hate something, like it occupies your brain because it's just it upsets you in a person, like it reaches your heart. But instead of tickling you, it itches, and you gotta get that itch out. But you can't metaphorically scratch your heart because it's actually in your brain. So, you gotta get that scratching out somehow else, and that comes out in hateful outbursts. It's interesting, I find. I think that's super interesting, and it's super it's something we'll never be able to fix because as humans we are programmed to really be aggressive about things we don't like. So it's super neat, but yeah, no, there's something biological with this. It's worth reading about. 3. If you were allowed to wear anything without being constrained by society, well, what people think, and laws, including physics, what would you wear? Wow, if I'm not constrained by physics, I would wear just pure shapes that would orbit around me in such a way that anything I don't want to be seen would just so happen to be conveniently covered by vision of people who might be able to see nearby. 4. Could you weigh in on the moral implications of using a proxy service to watch shows online that you otherwise couldn't watch? Well, it's going to happen. Okay, so remember, people have learned that the easiest way to quell piracy online is to make things easy. Basically, make things easier to watch, to consume, than pirate it, and you're going to be successful. There lies the success of things like Hulu or Netflix. Next step is a thing of law. See, I live in Canada. I don't really want to use a proxy. So what happens that what I can see on Netflix is like the third of what an American can, and other services like Hulu just outright don't work. So yeah, I want to watch something, I'm going to have to go on a gray market, and is it illegal if it's something that's literally unattainable on my end? I don't know. I don't know how that works, but I mean, I don't know. I'm a modern human adult of the 21st century. I'm not gonna deprive myself of something just because, especially if it's as easily available if I just lived a few kilometers more down south. If it was available to me, then I would heartily participate in the 100% legal options, but if you're not giving me that as an option, I mean, think about it. I'm not gonna deprive myself out of something as ridiculously stupid as entertainment. I'm not gonna get myself bothered by that, especially since it would be so easy, in theory, for you to just make it available for me, man. What country should one conquer after the Americas? Also, Patreon request: go outside and kill the first person you meet. Conquer China. China is the bed of modern consumerism. Everything gets built there, so if you can control the means of production, you're pretty much controlling the rest of the world. They're just not aware of it yet. And, once that's done, I guess I'll go on a murdering spree, but before that, I got one last question to answer by Kaika. Have you played Rayman Origins? It seems to have exactly the kind of level design philosophy you've talked about, with exploring a gimmick's potential throughout the level and whatnot. Didn't include Legends in the question because I hadn't played it yet, but I guess it does the same. I haven't played, even though I've been asked to be played not just by people on the Talk House, but like even people in the real world, like real life gaming people, have heartily urged me to play Rayman Origins. I don't know why I haven't for so long. I think I'm just gonna end up having to let's play it one day because I think it's the only way I'm gonna convince myself to find a time to play it, because from all intents and purposes, it does look really neat. I saw some footage on like Giant Bomb and stuff, and it looks, visually it looks amazing, and it looks like it plays real well. It's a time commitment thing. That's it. But it does look neat. It is something that looks like something that I would like to play. With that said, this is Cal. This was this week's Patreon video, and yeah. Down in real life, I'm considering getting myself some kind of capture card technology. Like, there are external ones, right? In order to maybe do something related to Mario Maker 100. or just Mario Maker in general, I think would be worth it. I really want to share my love for that game, but it's it's not something I can just do straight out. I need a car for that. I don't mind spending the money, considering it's your money, you guys' money, but like that's why you send it, right? Um, like I see it as an investment because if I have a capture card, that means that one day, you know what, I might as well just let's play Super Mario 3D World. It's a game that I started, but I stopped after like World 3 because I just couldn't get into it. I couldn't get into playing it without commentating it and like making, just sharing my views, and it feels like the weirdest thing. And stuff like I don't know, like it's just yeah, capture card is something that's probably gonna come in the future. I don't know how far or close in the future though. My next worry is it's logistics regarding area because I don't have much liberty in changing my furnitures around here. And I don't know if from my Wii U to my computer, like if it's realistic to be able to connect them from one another. It's basically the last little thing I gotta figure out. With that said, this is Alcal. See y'all next week, hopefully.